Hey friends, welcome to another episode of the Print on Demand Academy by AOP Plus. So in today's episode, we're going to discuss everything to do with niche or niche research, depending on how you like to pronounce it. So by the end of the video, you're going to know exactly what a niche is, how to find one, and how you can sell them products over and over again. So let's get into it. So first, what is a niche? Well, a niche or a niche is a segment or a group of people that share the same interests. So, for example, dog lovers or cat lovers, or people that have hobbies or pastimes like fishing or maybe camping. But the one thing to note is these niches that I've just mentioned are still really big, and that's where a lot of people make mistakes with their print-on-demand business. They still try to target a niche or an audience that's way too broad. So for example, dog lovers, instead of just targeting dog lovers, target specific breeds. Because what we always recommend is that you niche down far enough that you've got some really passionate followers, but make sure you still have a big enough audience to target. So if you take a quick look at my screen here, you'll see a fantastic example. This store here sells t-shirts to dog lovers, specifically for those that love French bulldogs. Now, there's quite a few stores in this French bulldog niche. Doesn't mean that it's not profitable or that it's too competitive. It means that there's a big market. So this is a great example of niching down within the dog lovers niche. Another great store that targets specifically fly fishing lovers. Okay, so rather than just being a fishing store, they specifically target fly fishing fans. Now, you might be asking, well, how can I find a niche, or how do I know if my niche is even worth pursuing? Well, firstly, the reality is that any niche that you go into, unless it's wildly obscure and has a very small audience, any niche can be profitable if you put in enough time and effort into marketing the brand. But a great way to validate a particular niche is to firstly go to places like Etsy. You can see here I've typed in French bulldog shirt. That was actually a suggested search when I typed in French bulldog. So again, on Etsy, here's a little tip. You can see what people are looking for. Okay, clothes, necklace, painting on canvas, shirts, all these sorts of things will give you product ideas. But you can see here, there's certainly no shortage. You know, some of these stores have thousands of reviews. Another thing I like to do as well is to go over to Google Trends. So that's trends.google.com. And this is where you can see if the trend is declining or increasing or staying pretty standard. So this is over the last 5 years. You can see there's always been a high demand, perhaps somewhere around here during the pandemic that spiked, or for whatever reason, but there's no serious decline, and there's also no major seasonal changes. And you can also see here where the searches for a particular niche are coming from. So if you're marketing to the United States or to the UK, you'll have plenty of audience here for French bulldogs. Now, if I, for example, just type in fly fishing as a topic, what you will see here is it does have some seasonal change. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's not a profitable niche, because it certainly is. But what you need to realize is that this is simply for the overall topic. So, for example, if you are selling fly fishing tackle or fishing rods or supplies, then yes, these seasonal trends may affect your business. But if you're targeting passionate fly fishing fans and selling apparel and whatnot, yes, you may experience some fluctuations, but you are still going to be able to sell products to them throughout the entire year. So now you've validated that your niche has an audience and it's worth pursuing, we're going to find out how you can discover what type of products or what sayings you can put on t-shirts and what sort of things that your niche actually likes and what they might buy from a print-on-demand store. So I've jumped over to Facebook here and I simply searched for fly fishing, and then I selected groups. Okay, groups on Facebook are a great way to see where your niche community congregates, and obviously if they're all grouping together or they're all conversing with each other inside a group, you know that they are passionate about it and they love what they do. So this is a great telltale sign. If you type in a niche into Facebook and there is no pages and no groups relating to that niche, then you're probably not going to have an audience to sell to. Now, this is going to obviously be local to me. You can filter the search so you can search in specific countries, but I didn't bother in this case. You can see here the fly fishing group, 46,000 members, 89,000 members in fly fishing buy and sell group. Some of these are Australian. Okay, so you've got 68,000 members. Fly fishing addicts, 30,000 members. Now this is a huge niche. So even though it's a segment or a smaller niche within fishing, you can see that the audience is huge. So this is a really good one if you are going to pursue this as your print-on-demand niche. Now, if you join some of these groups and see what the community is saying, what they're sharing, funny memes, funny sayings, that's also going to give you great ideas for t-shirts and apparel, coffee mugs and things you can sell from the AOP Plus catalog to your audience. And another way to find out great ideas for your print-on-demand products in a particular niche is to go over to Pinterest. Now, I just typed fly fishing into Pinterest here. You can see there is a heap of images, how-to banners, lures about tying knots and all this sort of stuff, which is great if you need to educate yourself on the niche. But also what you can do here is go through and get content ideas as well for your social media pages or for your blog if you're running a Shopify store. And what I like to do is to simply add the word funny to the end of my niche, and you're going to find a lot of memes. Now this here says, sorry, I missed your call, I was on the other line. That is a fantastic idea for a coffee mug, for a shirt, for a hoodie. Get a designer or someone to draw up something cool relating to fly fishing and then have this text done nicely. Another one here, all mums give birth to a child except my mum, she gave birth to a fishing legend. Now, something like that, I would probably say she gave birth to a fly fishing legend. Again, you're laser targeting your sub niche. Okay, rather than keeping it broad, it still could be a really good design, but it might be a little bit common. The more laser targeted you could get, the better. So this is a great example here. If you just type in your niche followed by funny, you could also say quotes, and you can see there's going to be a lot of things you can sort of browse through here as well. So guys, just before we wrap up this video, there's a few really important things I want to remind you of when you are choosing a niche for your print-on-demand store. So don't be tempted to go too broad and just target a huge category like dog lovers, okay? Because your products are just going to get lost in the sea of millions of products on Amazon and Etsy. You need to laser target, find a specific dog breed or something within the overall niche that's really going to hook people's attention. And secondly, make sure you do your research. If you don't know anything about the niche, make sure you learn, because it will be obvious to those inside that niche that you are selling something that doesn't quite make sense. So make sure you dedicate some time to learning about the niche if you don't know anything about it already. All right, friends, that brings us to the end of another AOP Plus Print on Demand Academy tutorial. We release videos every week, so make sure you like this video, drop a comment and subscribe to our channel so you can stay in the loop and hear about all the latest news and tips and tricks relating to print on demand. Thanks again.